First contact gone wrong. The Perseus drifted through the Centauri system's outer rim, its sensors probing the darkness for signs of the anomaly that had brought them 16 light-years from Earth. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood at the bridge's observation window, her dark eyes fixed on the distant stars. 20 years of deep space exploration hadn't prepared her for what they'd discovered in this remote corner of space. Contact, Lieutenant James Park announced, his fingers dancing across the sensor array. Material composition unknown. It's massive, Captain. Larger than anything we've ever encountered. The object emerged from behind a gas giant, its surface gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence. It wasn't natural. The geometric patterns etched across its hull spoke of artificial design, of intelligence. First contact. The moment humanity had spent centuries preparing for. Open all frequencies, Rodriguez ordered, her voice steady despite the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. Standard greeting protocol. Communications Officer Sarah Wade initiated the broadcast, sending humanity's message of peace into the void. The response came almost instantly, not in words or signals, but in action. The alien vessel's surface rippled like liquid mercury, and dozens of smaller craft emerged from its hull. Energy spike. Park's voice cracked with urgency. They're charging weapons. Rodriguez's training kicked in. Shields up. Evasive maneuvers. But before the Perseus could react, the first salvo struck. The ship's experimental quantum shields collapsed under weapons that seemed to ignore the laws of physics themselves. Emergency klaxons wailed as deck after deck reported catastrophic damage. They're not just attacking us, Wei shouted over the chaos. They're downloading our databases, stealing everything. Our history, our technology, Earth's location. Rodriguez understood with horrible clarity. This wasn't first contact. This was first blood. Purge the databases, she ordered. Initiate the Prometheus protocol. The Perseus's quantum core began its overload sequence as the alien weapons continued their assault. With her ship dying around her, Rodriguez sent one final transmission to Earth. This is Captain Maya Rodriguez of the Perseus. We have encountered a hostile alien civilization with technology far beyond our own. They have our coordinates. Earth must prepare. We are initiating the Prometheus protocol to prevent our technology from falling into enemy hands. The Perseus will not be taken. Remember us. Fight on. The explosion that followed lit up the Centauri system like a newborn star. The Perseus took 3 of the alien ships with her, but the main vessel remained. As the light faded, it oriented itself toward Earth, its purpose clear. The hunt was beginning. On Earth, the transmission arrived 3 weeks later. In the halls of power, in military command centers, in the offices of the United Earth Defense Force, the message played again and again. Humanity had 16 years, the time it would take the alien fleet to reach Earth at conventional speeds, to prepare for a war unlike any in human history. Admiral Chen stood before the United Earth Council, his expression grim as the Perseus's final transmission ended. The Perseus was our most advanced ship, with technology we believed would define the next century of human space travel. These aliens defeated it in minutes. He paused, letting the implications sink in. But Captain Rodriguez and her crew gave us something invaluable: time. Time to prepare, to innovate, to ensure that humanity's first interstellar war will not be its last. In shipyards across the solar system, construction began. New weapons were designed, defenses were strengthened, and humanity's greatest minds worked tirelessly to bridge the technological gap. But the greatest hope lay in a project that had been theoretical until now: the Integration Initiative. A revolutionary fusion of human consciousness, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing that would create warships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The first of these new vessels would be christened Defiant, and in 16 years it would carry humanity's hopes into battle against an enemy that had already proven their technological superiority. The race against time had begun, and failure meant extinction. The Perseus's sacrifice marked the end of humanity's age of innocence, but it had sparked something else, a determination that would reshape the stars themselves. In the years to come, the alien invaders would learn what countless others throughout human history had discovered too late. Humanity was at its most dangerous when backed into a corner. The last line of defense. 16 years of preparation ended in a single moment. The quantum sensors detected them first, a vast fleet emerging from the darkness beyond Pluto's orbit. The Archons, as humanity had named them, had arrived. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the tactical display as hundreds of enemy vessels materialized at the edge of the solar system. The ship hummed beneath her feet, its quantum core pulsing with barely contained power. The Defiant was humanity's masterpiece, a fusion of bleeding-edge technology and desperate innovation. All stations report ready, Commander David Walsh announced from his tactical station. Integration systems are online. The AI core is responsive. Chen nodded, her attention fixed on the approaching enemy fleet. The Defiant wasn't just a warship, it was humanity's testament to survival. Its hull contained technologies that hadn't existed 16 years ago, developed through reverse engineering the scant data the Perseus had managed to transmit before its destruction. The Archon fleet is accelerating, Walsh reported. Multiple vector approach. They're splitting their forces. As expected, Chen replied. They still think they're dealing with the same level of technology they encountered with the Perseus. She opened a channel to the combined Earth defense fleet. All vessels. This is Captain Chen. Execute Operation Thunderbolt. The human fleet moved with practiced precision. Smaller craft darted between the larger capital ships, taking up formation around designated rally points. The Defiant led the charge, its experimental quantum drive humming as it accelerated toward the enemy. The first shots were fired at extreme range, relativistic projectiles and energy weapons crossing the vast distance between the fleets. The Archon ships moved with fluid grace, their organic-looking hulls rippling as they evaded incoming fire. But humanity had spent 16 years studying those movements, analyzing every frame of footage from the Perseus encounter. Multiple hits confirmed, Walsh announced as the first volley connected. Their adaptive shielding is responding, but our phase-shifted weapons are getting through. Chen allowed herself a grim smile. The Archons had expected to face the same quantum shields they'd so easily defeated before. Instead, they found themselves against hybridized defenses that combined human ingenuity with reversed engineered alien technology. The battle intensified as the fleets closed range. The Defiant's AI core processed combat data in microseconds, adjusting shield frequencies and weapon harmonics faster than any human crew could manage. But the Archons were adaptable, their ships already beginning to compensate for humanity's technological advances. They're targeting our command ships, Walsh warned. The Churchill and Yamamoto are taking heavy fire. Chen watched as two of Earth's finest vessels succumbed to the alien onslaught, their crews fighting to the last moment. The Archons' technological superiority was beginning to tell, their weapons tearing through human defenses with increasing efficiency. All ships, fall back to defense line beta, Chen ordered. Concentrate fire on their lead vessels. Don't let them establish a breakthrough point. The human fleet executed a fighting retreat, drawing the Archons into the carefully prepared killing zones around Jupiter's orbit. But even as they fell back, Chen could see the tide turning. The enemy's advanced technology was overwhelming human defenses faster than expected. A massive explosion lit up the tactical display as another human capital ship died. Then another. The carefully planned defense was crumbling under the Archon's relentless assault. Hull breach on Deck 7. The Defiant's AI reported calmly. Structural integrity at 60% and falling. Multiple systems showing critical damage. Chen gripped her command chair as another impact rocked the ship. The Defiant's revolutionary defenses were failing, just like every other human technology faced with the Archon's overwhelming superiority. But as she watched her fleet dying around her, something crystallized in Chen's mind. A desperate plan that bordered on suicide. "All hands," she announced, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "Prepare for Emergency Integration Protocol Alpha. We're about to show these bastards why you should never corner a human." Breaking point. Integration Protocol Alpha had never been tested in combat. The risks were enormous, but with Earth's fleet in ruins and the Archons pressing their advantage, there was no choice left. Chen placed her palm on the neural interface panel as her crew did the same at their stations. Integration commencing. The Defiance AI announced. Neural synchronization in 3, 2, 1. The world exploded into light and sensation. Chen gasped as her consciousness expanded, merging with the ship's systems. She could feel every burst of energy through the quantum core, every strain in the hull plating. The Defiant wasn't just a ship anymore. It was an extension of her own body. Through the merged consciousness, she felt her crew's presence. Walsh a tactical, his thoughts moving through weapon systems with impossible speed. Engineering teams becoming one with the power distribution grid. Sensor operators extending their awareness through the ship's detection arrays. Multiple hull breaches detected, the AI reported, its voice now resonating directly through their shared consciousness. Structural integrity failing. Chen didn't just hear the report, she felt it. The pain of torn metal and ruptured systems burned through her nervous system. But with that pain came understanding. The Defiance quantum core wasn't just providing power, it was creating microscopic folds in spacetime throughout the ship's structure. All stations, Chen commanded, her thoughts reaching the entire crew simultaneously. Prepare for emergency core reconfiguration. We're going to show them what this ship can really do. The Archon fleet pressed forward, their organic ships moving with predatory grace. They detected the energy spike from the Defiant but didn't understand its significance. They couldn't comprehend what humans had achieved through desperation and innovation. Through the integration link, Chen directed the quantum core's energy through the spacetime folds. The Defiant's damaged hull began to shift, plates realigning as the very fabric of reality warped around them. The ship wasn't just repairing itself, it was evolving. By God, Walsh whispered through the link. The simulations were right. The Archons fired another devastating salvo, but their weapons passed through spatial distortions around the Defiant, their energy dispersing harmlessly. The ship's quantum-enhanced sensors, now directly linked to human consciousness, revealed weaknesses in the alien vessels that no computer could have detected. Target their primary power conduits, Chen ordered, the thought becoming action instantly. Time on target, all batteries. The Defiance weapons spoke as one. Phase-shifted plasma, quantum torpedoes, and relativistic projectiles struck the lead Archon ship simultaneously. The alien vessel's adaptive shields tried to compensate, but couldn't match the speed of human thought merged with artificial intelligence. The Archon ship died spectacularly, its organic hull rupturing in a cascade of energy. The remaining alien vessels reacted with visible confusion, their fluid formations breaking apart as they faced something beyond their experience. But victory came at a cost. The neural load was devastating. Blood trickled from Chen's nose as the strain of maintaining the integration threatened to overwhelm her consciousness. Around the bridge, other crew members showed similar signs of stress. Core stability at critical levels, the AI warned. Human neural patterns showing dangerous degradation. Chen pushed through the pain, feeling the ship's systems as intimately as her own body. The Defiant wasn't just a weapon. It was humanity's testament to survival, a fusion of desperate innovation and raw determination. We can't maintain this configuration, Walsh projected through the link, his thoughts tinged with urgency. The human mind wasn't meant to process this much data. Chen knew he was right. Already, she could feel her consciousness fraying at the edges, the immense flow of information threatening to burn out her neural pathways. But she also saw something in the data stream, a pattern that the AI had missed, a possibility that could change everything. Reroute all power to the quantum core, she ordered. Prepare for full consciousness transfer. The AI's response carried a note of alarm. Captain, that level of integration has never been attempted. The risk of complete neural collapse is. The risk of extinction is higher. Chen cut in. Through the neural link, her crew felt her determination, her absolute conviction. Humanity doesn't survive by playing it safe. We survive by doing the impossible. As the Archon fleet regrouped for another attack, the Defiant's quantum core began to pulse with unprecedented power. In the space between moments, between thought and action, between human consciousness and artificial intelligence, something new was about to be born. The mind of the ship time seemed to stretch as Captain Chen's consciousness merged completely with the Defiant's eye matrix. She felt herself expanding, becoming something vast and impossibly complex. Every circuit, every quantum processor, every molecule of the ship's structure became an extension of her awareness. The rest of the crew followed, their minds joining in a neural symphony that transcended ordinary human consciousness. They weren't simply controlling the ship anymore. They had become the ship. The Defiant's eye wasn't just a program now. It was the framework that held their merged consciousness together, turning chaos into coherence. Through their expanded awareness, they'd perceive the Archon fleet in entirely new ways. The aliens' biotech ships weren't just vessels. They were living minds, each one part of a vast neural network. The Archons hadn't just built their ships. They had grown them, shaped them from living tissue and consciousness. They're like us. Walsh's thoughts resonated through the merged consciousness, but they achieved through evolution what we've done through innovation. The revelation rippled through the collective awareness of the Defiant's crew. The Archons weren't invincible. They were simply following a different path of development. And now, humanity had leapfrogged centuries of gradual advancement through sheer determination and desperation. The quantum core pulsed with new understanding, its energy flowing through pathways that merged technology and consciousness in ways never before imagined. The ship's damaged hull began to regenerate, not through conventional repairs, but through the direct manipulation of matter guided by the merged consciousness of its crew. The Archon fleet launched another attack, their weapons seemingly unstoppable. But now the Defiant moved with impossible grace, its reactions guided by hundreds of merged human minds working in perfect harmony with artificial intelligence. Space itself seemed to bend around the ship as quantum fields responded to thoughts that operated beyond normal physics. They're adapting, the AI consciousness warned, its thoughts now indistinguishable from the human minds it had merged with. Their biological systems are evolving in response to our quantum manipulations. The Archon ships began to shift, their organic hulls pulsing with new patterns of energy. They were learning, changing, trying to counter the Defiant's unprecedented capabilities. But they were fighting against something they had never encountered: human adaptability enhanced by artificial intelligence and powered by quantum technology. Chen directed the ship's consciousness toward a new possibility, one that emerged from the unique merger of human intuition and machine precision. The quantum core wasn't just a power source. It was a key to understanding the very nature of space-time. We can't beat them with pure force, she projected through the merged consciousness. But we can show them something they've never seen before. The Defiant systems began to reconfigure at the quantum level. The ship wasn't just fighting in normal space anymore. It was operating in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Each weapon firing was precisely calculated to strike through quantum probability states, hitting the Archon ships in ways their adaptive defenses couldn't predict. But the strain on the crew was immense. Human minds weren't designed to exist in this expanded state of consciousness. Even with the eye's support, Chen could feel the edges of their merged awareness beginning to fray. Neural patterns becoming unstable, the eye warned. Human consciousness cannot maintain this level of integration indefinitely. Through their shared awareness, Chen felt her crew's determination. They all knew the costs, understood that this level of merger might have permanent consequences. But they also knew what was at stake. Earth's survival hung in the balance, and they were humanity's last line of defense. The Archon fleet pressed their attack, but now their previously unstoppable weapons found themselves striking at shadows. The Defiant existed in a state of quantum uncertainty, its position and momentum governed by the merged consciousness of its crew, rather than the normal laws of physics. "We've changed the rules of engagement," Walsh's thoughts echoed through the collective. "They're fighting a conventional war against an enemy that doesn't play by conventional rules anymore." But victory was far from certain. As the Defiant's crew pushed the boundaries of their merged consciousness, the very fabric of reality seemed to strain around them. They were breaking new ground with every moment, and the consequences of their unprecedented fusion of human and artificial intelligence remained unknown. Through it all, Chen held the merged consciousness together, her mind serving as the focal point for this revolutionary combination of human spirit and technological advancement. The Defiant wasn't just a ship anymore. It had become humanity's next evolutionary step, born from necessity and desperation. Humanity's legacy. The merged consciousness of the Defiant reached out across space, touching the quantum fields that connected all matter. Through this expanded awareness, they finally understood what they were truly fighting. Not just an alien fleet, but a philosophy that saw biological evolution as the only valid path forward. "They fear us," Chen realized, the thought resonating through the collective consciousness. "Not because of our weapons, but because we represent a different path of advancement." The Archon fleet surrounded them now, hundreds of bioships moving in perfect coordination. Their organic technology had evolved over millennia, but humanity had achieved something unprecedented: the voluntary fusion of consciousness and technology, driven not by natural selection, but by choice and necessity. Through the quantum link, Chen initiated a different kind of communication. Not radio signals or standard protocols, but a direct transmission of consciousness. Human thoughts carried on quantum waves that bypassed conventional physics. The Archon ships hesitated, their attack patterns faltering as they encountered something beyond their experience. Through the quantum connection, the Defiant shared not just information, but understanding. The entirety of human history, the drive to survive, to adapt, to overcome limitations not through slow evolution, but through innovation and determination. "We are not your enemy," Chen projected, her thoughts amplified by the merged consciousness of her crew. "We are not a threat to your way of life. We are simply another path of advancement, one that proves the universe is vast enough for different approaches to existence." The response came not in words, but in sensations: surprise, confusion, and something approaching recognition. The Archons had never encountered a species that could match their level of consciousness integration, let alone one that had achieved it through technological means. But the strain of maintaining the merged consciousness was reaching critical levels. Human minds were beginning to buckle under the pressure of existing in this expanded state. The quantum core pulsed with warning signals as neural patterns began to destabilize. "We can't maintain this state." Walsh's thoughts carried edges of pain. Our bodies weren't designed for this level of integration. Chen felt it too. The burning sensation of neurons firing beyond their capacity. The desperate struggle of human biology to contain a consciousness that had grown far beyond its natural limits. But she also felt something else through the quantum link, a change in the Archon fleet's collective mind. The alien ships began to pull back, their organic hulls rippling with new patterns that the merged consciousness recognized as communication signals. They were talking among themselves, debating, reaching a decision that would determine the fate of two civilizations. Through the quantum connection, understanding flowed both ways. The Archons saw in humanity something they had never considered: the possibility of directed evolution, of choosing a path forward rather than waiting for natural selection. They saw a species that had compressed millions of years of development into decades through sheer force of will and innovation. Neural collapse imminent, the AI warned, its thoughts now inextricably linked with the human minds it had merged with. "We must end the integration or risk permanent damage." Chen knew the AI was right. Already, crew members were showing signs of severe neural stress. But she held the connection for one moment longer, sending a final message through the quantum link. Not a threat or a plea, but a promise. We will not be confined by the limitations of our biology. We will not be restricted by the conventional laws of physics. We will advance, we will grow, we will evolve, not through the slow march of natural selection, but through the power of human determination and innovation. This is humanity's gift to the galaxy. The proof that consciousness can transcend its origins, that evolution can be guided by choice rather than chance. The Archon fleet's response came in a cascade of quantum signals, acknowledgement, respect, and something that translated roughly as acceptance. They had come seeking to eliminate a potential threat, but found instead a species that had achieved something they had thought impossible. As the merged consciousness of the Defiant began to separate back into individual minds, the Archon fleet retreated, their organic ships shifting into formation around their mothership. They departed not as conquerors, but as equals, leaving behind a message encoded in quantum fluctuations. Your path is different, but no less valid. We will meet again, not as enemies, but as fellow travelers in the evolution of consciousness. The Defiant's crew returned to their individual states of consciousness, forever changed by their experience. They had touched something profound. The next step in human evolution, born not from genetic mutation, but from the uniquely human traits of innovation, determination, and the willingness to transcend limitations. Earth was safe, but more than that, humanity had proven itself to be something unprecedented in the galaxy, a species that could choose its own path of advancement, that could compress ends of evolution into moments of desperate innovation. The Defiant had lived up to its name, defying not just an alien invasion, but the very constraints of human potential. As the quantum core powered down and normal space operations resumed, Captain Chen looked out at the stars with new eyes. They had done more than win a battle. They had opened a door to humanity's future, one where the boundaries between consciousness and technology, between evolution and innovation, no longer existed. The war was over, but humanity's journey was just beginning. The stars beckoned, not as a battlefield, but as a frontier where human ingenuity and determination would continue to reshape the very nature of existence itself.